be showing you a progression and a regression for a plank. So Larissa is going to be demonstrating our plank. You want to make sure when you do this that your shoulders are over your elbows and that your pelvis is tilted in. This will really work your abdominal muscles. For the regression, Larissa will be demonstrating a bird dog exercise. You want to make sure that you keep your back flat, as if you were to put a glass on it, it would not fall off. This is just an easier way to work your abdominals if you have a sore back or if your core stability is not strong enough to do a plank. So for the progression, Larissa will be performing a plank using sliders. In this case, we're using these towels. All you want to do is make sure, again, you're keeping your body flat, reaching out in front of you with opposite. Common mistakes for a plank are dipping in the lower back and not having your shoulders in line with your elbows.
Alright, so today we're going to be doing a push-up to work on the pec major and anterior shoulder.
Alright, so Shane will be demonstrating a push-up, so his shoulders will be above his hands, he'll be on his toes, keeping his back straight, neck in line with his back. So when you're doing this, you just got to make sure your back is straight. For the progression, Shane will be performing an explosive jumping push-up. So it's the same cueing as before, but when he's pushing up, he'll be pushing up with more explosive power and clapping. And when you're landing, you'd want to land a little softer so your wrists are protected.
Alright, so if you have a client who can't do a push-up properly or safely, you want to regress them, so we got to get them on their knees. You want to hinge from your knees, keeping your back straight and your core intact. You want to come down, push back up, make sure that your chest and chin kind of hit the floor, not hard, but you want to be going down all the way. And that's good. Common mistakes for the push-up are not engaging your core, dipping when you're doing the push-up. Other mistakes also include arching your back.
I'm going to be showing you an internal rotation of the shoulder. It's going to be working the teres minor and the infraspinatus rotator cuff muscle. So we're going to be going against gravity, and she's going to be rotating her shoulder inwards. Slow and controlled, keeping her elbow in line with her shoulder and keeping it close to the body.
Do it one more time.
The regression, we're going to not be doing it against gravity and just be doing it standing upright, just to kind of work in the range of motion to get range of motion. So for the progression, we're going to be using it with a resistance band just to make the exercise a little more difficult and to be able to strengthen the muscles to make them more stable. So common mistakes for the internal shoulder rotation is not keeping your elbow tight to your body when you do it, like just sitting it out, and keeping your and using your entire body to pull the weight or to do the movement.
Now we'll be performing the walking lunge. It's an exercise that works the glutes, hamstrings, and quads.
Alright, so for the lunge, you want to make sure when you move, you want to make sure that your knee comes behind your toes, go all the way down. You want to keep a tight core all the way. You want to make sure that your body stands up straight, lifting your shoulders back, get your knees to the ground, don't hit them too hard. So for our progression, we're going to be doing the weighted lunge. You want to cue it almost the same way that you would the normal lunge, but you want to make sure that extra emphasis is put on the core and the upper body holding it. Because if you don't do that too much, you can get some pain on your back, you can pinch a nerve or something. You just want to also make sure that the extra emphasis is also on putting your weight through your heels so you don't injure the knee. Yeah.
So for the regression, we'll just do a stationary lunge if your client can't perform a walking lunge. As Larissa will demonstrate. So basically it's the same, but we're just not moving forward. Common mistakes of lunges is shooting your knees past your toes, taking too long of a step and unable to keep the balance, and not having your chest up during the lunge.